Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. We got a whole bunch of crazy stuff to talk about. Dear Hughley decided to attack my wife. Now I'm on his, you know what, like stank on, like white on rice. Y'all know how I get down. All right. And then we got, another, what's the senator from Michigan that's a complete nut job and trying to push Sharia law. And if you idiots continue to vote for these people, you're going to be in trouble. Target had the funniest costume I've ever seen in my life, but you know who mad at it? You guessed it. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the 49ers owner who's worth, I think, $8 billion trying to get some, I wanted to say it, but I'm trying to be a Christian. He's trying to get some hooky for $100. $100, bruh? Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I want to give a big shout out to the members. Thank y'all for joining the membership program, whether you're a rookie all the way up to deputy chiefs. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting us. And we're going to continue to grow and continue to do great things because of you guys. I want to give a big shout out to the people that are already signed up for the event. You better get your tickets because they're moving really fast. The Florida Fish House. September the 16th and 17th, I will be there. It's a 2-day event. The first day is a bourbon pairing 5-course meal. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to have a good time enjoying bourbon. And then the next day is going to be a speech. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the thing that y'all love me for doing. And we're going to have a good time, Q&A, all of that fun stuff. So make sure you sign up today in Florida on the 16th and 17th of September. All right, let's get into this, man. I want to first address this, because there's people out here saying, Brandon, you're a Christian. Why do you have to go at this? The Christians, I need y'all to understand, y'all need to stop being soft. The reason that we're in the position we're in our country, the reason people don't know what a woman is, the reason why we got Sharia law and these radical leftist nut jobs running a lot of places in our country is because y'all are simps and you soft and you're a coward because you don't stand up. Let me just be very clear. I don't know what Jesus Christ y'all read about, but Jesus Christ, he got killed because he willing to stand on business. Because he's not going to hide in the corner and shy away from what the truth is and criticizing people when criticism is necessary. That's why the Pharisees didn't like him, because he criticized them because they were untoward, they were haters of God, and they were sinning and doing the wrong thing. But you know what? As a man of God, as a man that stand on principle, when you come after my wife, I got to get on your head. That's just how it is. And if you don't like it, unfollow me. I don't care. DL, this what this fool did. Now, I want to put this in context real quick. I was making a joke about Michelle Obama, and I was in tongue-in-cheek. I said, she don't look good as my wife. Now, the reason that this all started is because Michelle Obama has historically, if you've watched her podcast and other video that she's been on, video interviews that she's been on, she has this condescending behavior towards Barack Obama. She talks down on him as if she the prize. And I had a whole podcast about this, and then in a short period of the podcast, I made mention about Michelle Obama jokingly. But because these ignorant Negroids, they hate me because I'm married to a white woman and I'm not a coward, and I'm not going to bow down to their foolery, and I'm going to call out people no matter what color they are. They want to find anything they can to try to blast me. Now, I will say this. This should have been, in my opinion, when another man, if Barack Obama would have came at me and said, bro, I don't like you said this about my wife, it's fair game. He can criticize me all he wants. That's his wife. Now, when another man that's not Barack Obama and Michelle Obama is not his wife want to bring me into the fold because you don't like what I said, then the conversation should have been between you and I. You should have criticized me for what you think I said wrong. But instead, y'all put my wife in the middle of it. Well, my wife ain't have nothing to do with this. And since you want to do that, now we're going to put y'all bald head, nappy, ghetto, permed out, Hennessy drinking. We put your wife in there. Let's go to they wife clip. It's the clip that I posted on my channel this morning. Now, I'm going to put this out here, and I'm not trying to be mean to nobody, but, brother, why you bring my wife in and now I got to bring y'all wives in it? It's like throwing stones and you live in a glass house. Wait till you see these gorillas that they got looking nasty and weird. Roll the clip. Let me just say this, man. I was going to let it go. Dear Hughley, them talking about my wife, but now I'm finna put y'all wives on here. And DL, you can't say nothing because you cheated on your wife. And y'all got to think. All right. Y'all go look at my Instagram if you want to see the rest of what I said. Why am I doing this? Don't you talk about my wife, and I won't bring your wife up. I'm going to defend my wife to the end, whether verbally or physically. If y'all want to get down, we can get down. All right? But I'm trying to be a good Christian, and I'll just keep it right here on the internet. But don't stay in your place, gangster. All right, let me show you what they've been putting out on the internet about my wife, and you tell me if you think this is reasonable or not. Roll the clip. But Michelle Obama is not a good-looking woman. Everybody can't be fine like my wife. Everybody can't be fine like that.
Toby, be good boy for master. Don't send Toby away. Toby, be good field hand, master.
That's all right, Toby. That's all right. You be a good field hand, you can stay here.
So whoever made this meme doesn't realize he doesn't look like this. He actually looks like this. Officer Tatum is shaped like a woman. Him and Saucy Santana can be brothers or sisters.
Hey, now, I don't know if she a man or not. I don't think she is.
I don't think you shaped like a man or not. Or I don't think you is.
But I will say.
And why do all coons look alike? He looks just like Jesse Lee Peterson. Look at the utter despair in their eyes. They have slave eyes.
Hey, y'all quit lying to this woman, act like she cute, though.
You built like your grandma. You out here built like a sassy, saucy Santana. Your new name is Quiet on the Creek Tatum. You should be concerned with why you look like you transitioning, like you get quarterly work done at Dr. Miami. Who gave birth to y'all children, you or your mister? You talking about Michelle like your wife don't look like a sick Jeff Ross. No matter how much money your mister spent on her face not to look like Lord Farquaad, she still ended up looking like a fresh-faced Dylan Mulvaney. He was already out here lying on Nolan Wells, talking about a source told you that he was doing cocaine.
And this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time.
But your wife looks like she does cocaine at
All right,
this period of time.
Let's continue. So now this is where these people get weird at. They go and skip over all of my wife's pictures to go back to a picture of her showing without makeup on when she had gotten surgery on her eyes or her eyebrows or whatever the case may be, and they want to put that out there. But let me circle back. Let's put these big bones out here. Let's start with D.L. Hughley, big body. Now, put it on the screen. Now, how you and your wife look the same? Y'all want to talk about me? Look at this food. You actually look better than your wife. So don't talk about me. And then let me put this out here. And they got weave in their head. And these are pictures that we got online with them at their best, with makeup and everything on. Take that weave out her head. Take that perm out. Take the makeup off. And let's see what your wife look like. Y'all wives are pretty embarrassing. And these black women and these black people love to trash white women, but y'all got trying to have white women hair. That ain't your real hair. You perming that. That ain't how your hair lay down like that. You putting extensions on that. Come on, let's go to Talbot. His Thicky Smalls. Look at now. Next one. Look at it. I can smell that curling iron burning right now. Look at it. If you take that makeup off, you take that weave out their hair, you take that perm out, now let's see what your wife look like. Let's my wife is beautiful. Go to another picture. My wife is beautiful. Y'all mad at me because your chicken fried steak eating women with type 2 diabetes on the verge of having a stroke. Don't get mad at me, bro. All right. I think I've said enough. I just had to put their big backs out there. I'll put it like this. You guys don't bother me nor my wife because we don't care. We're winning in life. Y'all are miserable, old. D.L. Hughley older than my daddy. And then D.L. Hughley cheated on his wife. I thought y'all talking about black beauty and black. You cheating on your wife with some other chick you had an outside baby with. You too much of a coward to even stand up for your outside baby. And another black man took that baby's life, and you wasn't there to protect them, and you wasn't trying to, Negro, because you married. And then you go let your daughter get taken advantage of by another young man, and you claim in your voice that you didn't want to say nothing because he was a friend of yours. You liked him. Y'all about you worry about your family and stop pointing the finger at other people's families. Now, I'll say this. Michelle Obama. Let's put Michelle up here. The question was, if y'all really want to keep it 100, you would be comparing my wife to Michelle because that's the conversation I had. Now go put Michelle Obama up here. Now I'm not trying to. I was joking, but now y'all gonna make me continue. Now who look better, Michelle or my wife? I just want to. What are we saying here? How these men look better than their wives? Bro, come on, give me a break. And then they post a picture of Michelle at her absolute best. Even in these pictures I'm showing you, Michelle Obama have makeup on and got hair weave in her head. I can see the tracks right there. She got weaving in her hair. Now show the real picture of you. Take that weave out, all them crochet braids out, and let's see what you really look like. We know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all just hating. All right, put a picture of my wife on there real quick, and then we're going to move on. Bam. Next one. Bam. Y'all shut the front door. Case is closed. Okay. All right, let's get to this fool, Abdul El Said. I think that's how you say his name. Now, I don't care because I don't live in Michigan. I hope y'all burn to the ground. But because you guys are making a decision, I'm not talking about the conservatives. I'm talking about the leftists. You're making the decision to elect people like this. This is what you're going to get out of this election. He was on Jesse Waters' show, and this was a nightmare on Elm Street. Roll the clip.
And sex changes for minors. Do you support that?
Look, I remember having great conversations with my conservative friends about right-to-try legislation. The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor,
you want to try on kids?
Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that health care decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents and a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But, you want to put government inside
So, Abdul, you're a doctor, right?
Selectively. I am.
So you think it's okay for a parent to slash his kid's ding-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a
Jesse,
personal question.
Okay.
Doctor.
So you probably should want to move on.
Circumcision's different than castration.
I think it's a problem. It's a problem that you think that you get to decide what happens between a parent, a doctor, and a patient. And I'm just saying that, yes, circumcision is surgery on a kid's ding-a-ling. So if you really want to bring that up, you can. I just think you guys are really selective about how you want to talk about these things.
Abdul, Michigan's not going for that. That is sick stuff.
You know how silly you got to be to say something like that? Because you go down a slippery slope, and this is kind of what happened to the WNBA. You go down a slippery slope trying to sound virtuous, but you don't really have virtue on the inside. A circumcision, one is biblical. Two is done when you're young, and it's just cutting the skin from the penis. Y'all want to cut off the entire thing. Y'all want to give kids irreversible hormones that when they won't even be able to have children anymore. And then if it's unsuccessful and they want to move back, the wee-wee don't work. How you going to be a man running around the thing don't work when you're 20 years old? Y'all are making decisions, permanent decisions for children at such a young age, and it's wrong. And I'm telling you, if people wanted to do other things outside of transgenderism and the LGBTQ movement, people will be upset about it. Let's get to Sharia law. Roll it.
You said getting rid of Sharia law was white supremacy. Let's roll the tape. Go.
I don't have to tell you that the same exact forces that drove native peoples from their land
Here they
2
go.
centuries ago, destroyed Black Wall Street a century ago, bombed a building decades ago, and tried to ban Sharia law not a decade ago, that those forces are alive and well today.
So getting rid of Sharia law.
Hold on. So go live in a Muslim country then. Why are you in a white country then? If white people are so bad and they're just so devastating to your cause, go live in all these Muslim nations. I don't know, how many of it, 60, 90 Muslim nations? You got many to pick from. You can Sharia law yourself to the end of time. But yet you want to live in the freedom that is provided to you in a Christian, white, conservative-based country, but you complain about it every day. Roll the clip.
White supremacy. Can you explain that one?
Do you know what canon law is? Jesse, I assume you're Christian, right?
Yeah, tell me.
All right, so canon law is the name for Christian law. I don't begrudge you your right to practice your faith as you choose. I don't know why the idea that I could practice my faith as I choose is a problem. Nobody is trying to push Sharia law on anyone else, just like I hope nobody is trying to push canon law on anybody else, because we live in an America where you should have the freedom of your religion. So the idea that you have somebody like Tommy Tuberville, right, who, you know, barely was good at coaching football, is out here trying to ban Sharia law when there's less than 1% of the Muslim community in America, as if somehow Muslims are out here trying to push Sharia law, that seems to me to be deliberately targeting the Muslim community because they're different. And I'm just saying that, like, I have no issue with people practicing their faith. In fact, I would never want somebody to push their faith on me, and I would never want to push my faith on somebody else.
Time out. Here is the problem. When you are pushing your faith is antithetical to our faith. We are a Christian nation. We were founded on Christian principles. We weren't founded on Islam. And if you really practice Islam to its fullest extent, that means that we are the infidel. That means that we should be killed. Let you go. Can you proselytize in the West Bank, in Gaza, in Iran? Can you proselytize? That means, can you witness? Can you share the gospel of Jesus Christ in these countries? No, because it's antithetical to your faith position. So when you, and Christianity don't have any basis to hate others based on their religion. Christianity is not written in their book that they hate other people. It's not written in their book that they can't coexist. It's written in your book that you can't coexist. That's why these Muslim nations, only majority Muslim nations, don't have Christians in it. Or they used to be Christian, now they Muslim. Why? Because they've been, it's called conquest. All right, roll the clip.
Good, because no one wants you to get rid of your religion.
And so the idea,
no one wants that.
So, but when people preemptively go out there and start preemptively passing laws to ban something that's not happening, what you're trying to do is target a very small community because they're different. And this operates. I mean, look, I'm just going to say, there's statistical evidence that the president and the vice president
Michigan is kind of scary.
Simply
people
don't go for that. You know what the issue is in America, in Michigan?
What?
The issue that people are worried about is not that somehow somebody's going to come and push Sharia law on them. The issue in Michigan is people are worried about how they're going to afford their gas. The issue in Michigan is how am I going to see a doctor?
Yeah, that's a bait and switch. We worry about gas, Sharia law. This. Now we in control. And now we're in control. Now your women can't wear this and can't wear that. Can you tell me why in the Middle East they got stuff wrapped all on their heads? Female mutilation, genital mutilation. Why do those things exist? That's in the Quran. Or is it not? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, let's move on to reparations, what he said about reparations. Roll the clip.
Reparations. Do you support that?
I think we need to have an honest conversation about the incredible debt that was put upon black folks as a function of slavery that we have yet to pay. And I just think that's fair. Like if people are enslaved and forced into servitude, and then we don't actually have a conversation about all that was owed, that our own country agreed was owed, I just think that it's past time to have that conversation. That shouldn't be a crazy thing.
Time out. And the funny thing is that Democrats are the one that did not fulfill on the promises that a Republican implemented for 40 acres and a mule. It was a Democrat who did not fulfill on that promise. So I don't want to hear nobody talk about Democrat, Republican if you're not going to address the Democrat position of failing the black community from start to finish. From the foundation of the Democrat Party to today, they failed. How are you going to give reparations? And how far back does reparations go? To be honest, black people, and I'm black, how about we go to Africa and get our reparations from them? They the ones captured us and sold us to people all over the world. South America, United States of America, Britain, in the Caribbeans, you name it. They the ones sold it. How about we go to Africa and take back reparations and our resources that was deprived from us by other black people? Oh, y'all don't want to talk about that. Yeah, it's like saying natives need reparations for other natives. Because last time I checked, the Pasquayaki in Arizona, the Aztecs and all them, they didn't scalp and killed to conquer and get to the exemplification that we now know them to be today. How did they get there? Everybody owe everybody reparations. Shut your sorry self up. I tell you what, black people owe black people reparations for all this killing that's been going on in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. How about we talk about that? All that drug dealing, selling dope to your own brothers and sisters, leading cause of death for black people in America for the last 100+ years have been at the hands of other black people. How about black people pay black people reparations? Oh, we don't want to talk about that. It's too late to pay reparations. And you could say, I don't mind a person trying to challenge the idea of giving reparations, but then how are you going to implement it? It's just talk if you don't have an implementation tool. Roll the clip.
I understand that, like, for folks who really want to inflame culture war, I just think it's important for us to think about how do we make sure that communities like the city of Detroit that have been segregated so that you have a disproportionate number of people as a function of redlining who are forced into certain communities, how do we make sure that their schools are made whole? I'll just tell you this, in the city of Detroit now.
We'll move on. Redlining, I got to move on because we got other stuff. But the redlining, quit lying about redlining. Majority of the people who were affected by redlining were white by sheer number. Why we don't talk about the white people that were affected by redlining? Because you stupid. All right, next clip.
I respect the fact that you came on. I don't think you've really looked into some of the policies you're pushing. You seem a little naive, Abdul. I give you credit for facing the music, but some of the stuff's just straight up wacky. You know? I don't know if that's going to fly in Michigan, but we're going to find out.
You know what's wacky?
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. And you know what's wacky?
Yeah.
You know what's wacky, though?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you? You know you didn't ask me about?
What?
We got a president of the United States who cares more about the drapes in a ballroom that shouldn't be built than he cares about the war he just got us into, or that he cares about the affordability crisis. That seems to me to be a little bit wacky. So if we want to have a serious conversation about what Michiganders are feeling, I'd love to come back on and talk about getting money out of politics, put money in your pocket, passing Medicare for all.
Okay, we'll do it again.
I'm telling you, none of that is wacky, and that's what Michiganders want.
We'll do it again,
I look forward to it, Jesse. It was a good conversation.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in Michigan.
See, at least I don't dodge you.
No. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like 25%.
All right, let's get to the next topic. We're going to talk about this target racism. And here's the thing, and I'll be very forthcoming with this. This is why black people as a community, as a whole, will never, ever be anything in America. Never. There's isolated groups of black people that will excel and be incredibly rich, wealthy, productive in this country. But as a whole, when you put the total number of black people will never be in any prominent position in America in any element because of stuff like this. No other group cares about this stuff like black people do. 100 years ago, a costume can tear you down to your knees. A costume. A word that you use every day calling each other the N-word, a white person can say it singing along to the song that you made with the N-word in it, and you're crumbling to your knees. Somebody can criticize a black person. You crumble to your knees and you eat your own people because of criticism of the foolery that black people are doing in the community. But here's what Target did. And, of course, they ended up apologizing for it. But here's the story here from ABC. Roll it.
This morning, Target is apologizing and removing a children's Halloween costume after it was widely criticized as racist. The images of the costume are being compared to racist caricatures, evoking blackface. Target now acknowledges the costume should have never been for sale, saying, "As a company, we got this wrong, and we are deeply sorry. We know this is especially hurtful for our black guests, team members, and partners. Removing the costume is an important first step, and we are looking closely at how this happened."
We're cutting up cards today.
It comes 1 year after the company's controversial move to roll back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, which sparked protests and boycotts by shoppers.
We need to hold larger corporations accountable.
One Minneapolis area business leader claims this new costume controversy is an indirect result of Target's DEI decision last year, saying, "You rolled back diversity, so who's in the room now to say, hey, this is wrong?" One commenter on social media saying, "The amount of people this costume had to go through to get approved says a lot. What year is it?" Target declined to comment
all
on
right,
who
that's
designed
good.
and
I get it. We can keep moving. What year is it? It is 2026. This is 100 years later. People are not looking at this, focused on this, or not even aware that this used to, because it was 100 years ago. If I saw this in the store, I wouldn't even think twice about it. I would not think twice about it. Who cares? You know, it's the same thing like white people can't be their favorite superheroes or they can't be their favorite celebrities because if they paint themselves black, you ignorant Negroes got to cry about blackface. What are you talking? But you'll wear a white face. Y'all wear a white face, and that's fine. But if somebody wear a black face, you got to associate them with minstrel shows. 100 years ago. And this is the thing that bothers me, and this is why, to be honest, y'all ain't never going to make it in life. You guys are racist, and that's going to hurt you forever. Because when you look at them saying, there's not black people in the room. So you assume that not one white, Hispanic, or other race person can make a judgment call that's appropriate and reasonable. They have to be black to make a judgment call. Imagine if white people said this. You go to a black-owned business or something like that where black people run, they go, it's not enough white people in the room. Because black people ain't capable of making a fair decision, so we need more white people in the room to make decisions for white people. It won't fly. And I just got a couple clips that we'll post about these influencers crying. But you Negroes ain't crying about the young black people getting killed in the middle of the street. About the young man that went and shot them two women for no reason at the corner store. Or the young black athlete who was an aspiring athlete. He had a Houston Rockets hat on and he got killed in Compton. Because he had the wrong hat on. Y'all not boycotting over that. Y'all not talking about that. Young brother hung himself in Mississippi. Y'all know it had nothing to do with race. He sent the text message to his girlfriend, said he wanted to kill himself. Another young man hung himself. They got it. They had him in the store buying the rope to kill himself with it. They got it on video of him taking the rope and hanging himself. And instead of you talking about mental health in the black community, y'all blaming white people for stuff that black people clearly did. And now y'all crying and going 100 years. When are y'all going to let this go? It's going to be 6,000 years later, and you ignorant fools are going to still be crying about minstrel shows. This is what they sound like. Roll it.
Target, the company that was already canceled by black people, decided to post this Halloween photo on their website to sell to people. And it's like, you already know if you're a black person and a character that this is, and to remake that in 2026 is honestly insane. All right,
let's get to the next one. I think y'all got the point there. The funny thing is, I thought y'all boycotted Target anyway. Oh, y'all still shopping at Target. Let me tell you how stupid y'all are on 3 levels. One is that y'all supposed to be boycotting Target in the first place, but you didn't. Second of all, the smart thing to do is to buy black product at Target and not shop at Target. And then the third thing to do, now y'all complaining about something because you're still shopping at Target. That's how ignorant the melanated people are. Not all, but y'all know these idiots that I'm talking about, is that y'all will boycott the entire store and leave black product on the shelf. Instead of telling people, when you go in there, only buy black-owned products. But y'all too stupid for that. That's too much. It's too much brain power. Here's somebody else. Roll it.
So Target is once again in the hot seat for this debacle. This is what happens when you take people or you don't have people in the room that looks like us. You end up doing some shit like this. Target is already facing intense backlash from the black community, and then you turn around and put something like this in your stores for Halloween. Make it make sense, because if it doesn't, you would have never ever considered this if you had someone in those back rooms that look like us, that understand us, and know how this could be offensive. So like I said, Target is once again facing backlash for this comment.
How is it offensive? If you want to wear a Halloween being a blackface, you should be able to do what you want to do. It's America. Why do I care what your kid got on at Halloween that I'm never gonna see? I don't. If they had a Native American person with the Indian with the feather, I don't care. If somebody want to be an Indian, he can be an Indian. If somebody want to be Beyonce and put blackface on and put their hair down and say all the single ladies, I don't care. Why would you care? How does that offend you and have anything to do with your life? It's because y'all ain't got you don't have a future. You don't have purpose in life. So you have to go and derive your purpose and identity from all the old things that are negative. You can't go back and look at the positive in the black community. Look at the black men who did great things. You got to go to the minstrel shows. You can't go back and look at the black success and the failure and that we gave away Harlem. You can't go back and look at the failures that you did and say we could do better. You got to go back to slavery. Y'all so silly. Let me say this too real quick. What we got next, the 49ers coach. Let me just say this real quick because I think it needs to be said. You know, all these people are saying the white man took down Black Wall Street. Well, what are you doing today? If in the 20s, black people can create Wall Street, what are y'all doing today, 100 years later? Y'all can't even own a grocery store. Y'all don't even own businesses nowhere in your own hood. I don't want to hear, but that's what bothers me about black people. While y'all complaining, other groups of people are dominating. The Asian people that come over here as immigrants and Indian people, they own the grocery stores and own the corner stores and own the hair weave stores that y'all spend billions of dollars in your community. You don't even own those stores. Jewish people had Holocaust, way more recent than slavery. And they going on off and taking over the world. They making money. They not complaining. They doing Shabbat with their family, with the yarmulke on. And y'all out here killing each other. What's the murder rate between Jewish people? What's the murder rate between Asian people? What's the murder rate between Hispanic and white? Why are black people far beyond the murder rate in intraracial violence? Why are black people number one per capita abortions? Number one per capita failure in education? Number one per capita violence? Number one per capita murder? Number one per capita money is not being invested in your own community. I think the dollar takes, 30 seconds circulating in the black community. Your guys are on the worst in every fundamental category. And instead of making yourself better and doing the right thing, you blaming them. All right, let me throw this out here real quick. I want to tell you guys about this new shirt that we got, which I absolutely love. I was supposed to talk about it yesterday, but I didn't. You go to tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. We have a definition shirt. It's called, we saw the basketball players say, the definition of a woman. We made our own version of that definition shirt. I wish we had it on the screen, but we don't have it on the screen for you, so you just have to leave it up to your imagination. All right, let's get to the next topic. The 49ers owner arrested in a prostitution sting. Now, I have to verify this, but I saw a report that he was worth $8.5 billion. What kind of trailer park nan and poo-poo that he trying to get that is worth his career? What? Somebody help me. Now, I don't want to bash him because he must have a problem when you work that much money and you paying for $100 sluts. I just wonder. You would think a billionaire, if you're gonna go and do it, you're gonna do it with the best, right? Maybe you'd had an escort. You so rich. I don't condone this. I think it's wrong, and I think he should have never done this, and he's gonna get what he deserved for doing this. But you are so rich, you could recreate the scenario and do all you want to do. You can go buy a trailer park, and you can hire people to live in each trailer and hire an escort to do whatever you want her to do, and you can curate the whole thing with as much money as you have. Roll the clip.
46-year-old Jed York was arrested at 9:35 Sunday morning at a trailer park in East Palestine, Ohio. According to an affidavit, the owner of the San Francisco 49ers had arranged to meet a woman for sex in exchange for $140. York responded to an undercover ad on a known prostitution website. Initially booked for engaging in prostitution, court documents show today he pleaded no contest to disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, which was the cell phone he allegedly used to arrange the meeting.
Disorderly conduct is a much more generic charge. Certainly, it's better than pleading out to something related to prostitution.
In a statement, the 49ers said, as this is a legal matter which has been resolved, we will not be providing any further comment at this time. York filed for divorce from his wife back in May. He's been majority owner of the 49ers since 2024. The NFL said the matter will be reviewed under the personal conduct policy.
The league could punish Jed York even though his criminal case is resolved. And the league is very sensitive to not only how it's perceived by fans, but also its business partners.
York was ordered to serve 2 days in jail with a one-day credit for time served. He also paid a fine of $1,150.
$1,100? He could do this again. He can do it every weekend. He can do it for the next 3,000 years, every day. Let me just say this, and I'm gonna be done. Is that the last story we're talking about today? I'm not trying. It's tongue in cheek. I have to be entertaining, right? I mean, the stories are entertaining. It's not my fault that he got a prostitute for $140. I just do not understand what goes through a man's mind to do it in the first place. Second of all, you file for divorce against your wife. You would think you would just go all out. You file for divorce, you would go for the creme de la creme. You would go get a supermodel. You would go to a bar in Scottsdale and tell a woman that you would buy a Bentley and take her home for the night. You $140? That's the most expensive prostitute I've ever seen in my life, because it didn't cost him $140. It cost him millions of dollars. That woman got millions of dollars. Well, she didn't get it. I mean, she probably could sue him or something. I don't know. She may find a way to get some money out of him. But I just want to say, young men and older men alike, follow God in the best you can and do the right thing when nobody's watching. I know we all humans and we make mistakes and we have our own vices. But when the more you have and God has blessed you with, the more is required from you to do the right thing. I just understand what kind of person you have to devolve to do something like that. I'm popular. God has blessed me financially. I'm good looking. I'm young. I travel all the time without my wife. I don't know what kind of methamphetamine, crack, speedball you got to be taking to think it makes sense for you to get a prostitute and you're famous. You own the 49ers and the season just started. You're not worried about, have you not watched Hanson's show? Have you not seen people getting popped for prostitution? Bro, you so rich, there's got to be a way that you could go undetected. Maybe it's a fetish. Maybe he got a trailer park fetish. When he was young, he always wanted to sleep with trailer trash. And let me not talk about people like that, but y'all get what I'm saying. Maybe he got a trailer park fantasy. You can buy a trailer park and recreate a fantasy. You can hire somebody to get a woman that are willing to participate that you never met before. You can hire somebody to recreate a fake scenario for you so you think it's real. And you just spent millions of dollars on a lady that was going to give you, I don't know, 20 minutes of your time. Because $140 got to be cheap. I don't know if it's a recession. $140 can't get you nothing, right? I'm not trying to say no names, but I know a guy that got popped for $100, and it was just a little bit of, you know what? It wasn't a full thing. It was a little real quick, $100. Y'all out here tripping, man. All right, we love you guys. Make sure you send D.L. Hughley this video with his sorry self. We out of here.